Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're to present you our NFL Thursday Showdown for Week 2. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our NFL, NBA, and MLB videos. And if you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily FanDuel and Draftkings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So hey, what up, Jeremy? How you doing out there, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. Tonight, to be honest with you, bad night of MLB for me. Had a bunch of courts filled, and that didn't end up working out. But football, I'm looking forward to it this weekend. So that's kind of where my focus, is going right now.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, we got a Thursday slate. They got some money out there. $9 entry on FanDuel, $1 million guaranteed, 200 to first place. Pretty good tournament. Definitely want to throw in a couple lineups and just have a little fun on Thursday night. I'm not really too much into the Thursday through Monday type slates, but this one could be a lot of fun, a lot of money up for grabs. So somebody got to win it. So I'm ready to talk the game. Kind of, we got a couple teams that are coming off losses. You got the Bucks going into Carolina. I'm sorry. Yeah. You got the Bucks going into Carolina, face Cam Newton. So yeah, I mean, let's talk some football. Anything to talk about before we jump into this game? Any news, etc. Want to say, man, they just feel really bad. Heard the news about Cleveland's player Chris Smith. His lady got into an accident today and passed away. So rest in peace. And yeah, that's crazy, man.
Can't even can't even fathom the situation that took place. So, according to the Browns, they were in his Lamborghini. He was driving. Lamborghini blew a tire. His girlfriend got out of the car unscathed from the accident, only to be hit by an oncoming car and killed. So, I mean, can't even imagine losing somebody like that in your life, let alone right in front of you. The guy has to feel absolutely devastated and helpless. Very tragic. Just a tough deal. But I'm sure he's got, unfortunately that's what we're in is you got to, everybody's got to move forward. So we'll move forward. Thoughts and prayers to him.
Hey man, I'm ready to jump in this week. Football started off good. I'm ready to keep it rolling. So we're going to talk about the games. Like I said, Tampa Bay going into Carolina. I'll let you get us started with the visitor side of things. And I mean, what do you think about Tampa Bay in this matchup?
It'll be contrarian. It'll be it'll be contrarian. I mean,
No, we're talking more just like if you're going
it'll
to play the
be it'll be
slate.
contrarian. The chalk is going to ride on. I mean, look, do you really think that people are going to load up Jameis Winston in their MVP spot? It'll be contrarian. The guy he threw 3 interceptions and lost 2 fumbles. He was responsible for 5 turnovers. I said going into the week on our video last week, going into this game against San Francisco, that I love their defense because all he's done consistently in his career is turn the football over.
All right.
Tampa Bay needs to draft a quarterback, man. I just think it's time. I think that there's a lot of drama that comes with Jameis Winston. I think that from a football standpoint, setting protections, taking care of the football, and getting rid of the football on time. Don't get me wrong. The guy's got a ton of talent, but he's not big man on campus at Florida State anymore. He's just not. He needs to be an NFL quarterback, and I don't know if he can do that. We will find out as the season unfolds, but I definitely think one way or the other that Tampa Bay needs to draft a quarterback either to sit for a minute and let Jameis kind of play this out, or just completely move on from Jameis. And we talk about it all the time with different sports. Sometimes people just need a change of scenery, man. I know it's one game and that's the knee-jerk reaction, but this has been him for his career in the NFL. He turns the football over. He's got a lot of talent. So Jameis Winston, it'll be contrarian. I mean, Cam Newton is the quarterback that I think people will play if you're putting 2 quarterbacks in flex spots, which I personally think that's the best thing to do um, in this spot. Then he'll get some ownership there, but I just don't see an overwhelming amount of ownership going to Jameis Winston. Chris Godwin, he should be pretty owned, and he should probably be. I think a popular way to go here is going to be like 3 to 4 Carolina players will be the chalk with one Tampa player, and I think that a lineup constructed of somewhat of Christian McCaffrey in your MVP spot with Cam Newton and Chris Godwin is probably going to be the way people build. So Godwin and Evans obviously in play when you know the upside of Mike Evans. The crazy thing here though is you look and Mike Evans only had 5 targets, 2 catches, 28 yards. I mean, for a big time #1 wide receiver, you expect more than that out of Mike Evans. So, I think that sometimes what happens is when there's a huge loss like this, you have to reflect and say, okay, what are we good at and what are we trying to accomplish? We have weapons at the wide receiver spot. We don't have a running game. Carolina's defense, man, is going to be very, very, very owned here. They're going to be very owned. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to be different, if you're going to build 5 or 10 lineups, build one of them and put Carolina's defense in the MVP spot. Because if he turns the football over 5 times, you will have a lineup constructed completely different than anyone else. So Godwin, only 6 targets and 3 receptions. They just didn't get going. Winston kept turning the football over. So, Winston, Evans, Godwin, those are the guys to focus on. You get deeper down here into O.J. Howard, okay. As a flex play, fine. But if you're going to, for the MVP spots for me, I would stay away from Winston. I would look at Mike Evans and Chris Godwin on the Tampa Bay side. I guess if you want to take a look at a Peyton Barber, right? I'm okay with that. Maybe he sneaks in the red zone. He gets a couple of goal line carries and he scores. But both these quarterbacks can run the football. In a goal line situation, I don't think you're going to go to a running back if you got the ball at the 1 or 2 yard line. We've seen what Cam does. Jameis also likes to sneak the ball in the end zone as well too. So that's really it for me. Is I'm looking at those 4 guys really, and really 3 of them: Winston, Evans, and Godwin.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with you, and I think that Tampa is going to have a bounce back week, and they're going to at least put up some points, and the game's going to be competitive. Both teams really want to win this game. On the on the Carolina side of things, I mean, you're looking at the obvious guys. I mean, it's really Cam Newton. It's Christian McCaffrey. Those are the guys you want to look at. Cam Newton last week. He wasn't too bad. He was 25 for 38. For 239 yards. So he didn't throw the ball bad. He just didn't throw no touchdowns. I mean, that he couldn't get the ball, in the end zone, and he couldn't get the run game going. 3 rushes for -2 yards. That's his game. On a good day, he's going to have, you'll take a 25 for 38 for 239 from Cam with 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown maybe, and he'll rush on the ground for 10 rushes and 50 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, he'll bounce back from this week, and I think it's going to be a good week against Tampa Bay, who, the 49ers gave it to him, and their defense didn't look very good. So I really like Cam this week. If you're going to play the Thursday through Monday, especially if you're going to play just the Thursday only, you want to get at least a couple MVP spots with him. And then you got McCaffrey. McCaffrey's a workhorse. He doesn't have no real receivers that stepped up this week. You got McCaffrey, 19 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. 2 rushing touchdowns, 10 catches on 11 targets for 81. He's going to be the guy that it's going to be Cam and him. They're going to just be kind of doing their thing together. 38 fantasy points. You can't really count on the touchdowns for him to get 2 touchdowns a week, but this is the workload he's going to get. So I like McCaffrey a lot. The wide receiver, man, that's why I talk about them so much, because it's suspect. You got DJ Moore. He ended up going. He's the guy that at least he's getting the looks. 6,200. He went 7 for 10. He caught 7 of 10 passes, 76 yards. He did lose a fumble too. That's a little bit like, come on, bro, like don't lose a fumble. The other guy they got, Curtis Samuels, didn't do very much. Caught 3 or 4 passes, 32 yards. So I mean, and then you got Greg Olson's questionable right now. With his back, so this is questionable for the game. They're gonna see if he said he went to a full practice Wednesday after being held out Tuesday. So looking like he'll play 5,200. We talked about him last week, and he definitely got the targets. 9 targets, only caught 4 of them for 36 yards. He's going to be a red zone option for Cam Newton. Him and it's going to be really him, Cam Newton, and McCaffrey are going to be the 3 guys that you really want to look at this week. That's really where I'm at with the Panthers. You got anything else to add?
Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan?
I'm going to ride the Chris Hogan train. I know he only got 1 target last week and no catches, but Chris Hogan, everywhere he's been a playmaker. He's a playmaker in Buffalo that got him in New England. He's a playmaker in New England with their wide receiver situation, what it was last year. They didn't have Julian Edelman to start the season. Then they
Right.
lost Josh Gordon, right? Chris Hogan made plays. He made plays down the field, and he's always made plays from the slot. So
Got you.
one target. You take a
I
look
got
at a couple of things, right? And I know that if you're gonna win 200,000, you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna be different. There's a ton of entries here. Look at a couple of things. We talked about it last night with Goff. Goff had 39 pass attempts, only completed 23 of them, only for 186 yards, did get picked off, but did throw one passing touchdown. Look at the weapons around Goff. Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, right? The guys, Robert Woods, the guys got, whose weapons are better, Jameis Winston's or Jared Goff's?
definitely Jared Goff's.
So I think this game. Look, here's what you have to think about here. Who's the guy on the Carolina? Look, Ted Ginn Jr. was the guy for a long time when he was with Carolina. Like, throw Ted Ginn in a couple of tournament lineups and hope that of his 2 targets, one of them is an 80-yard bomb or a 60-yard bomb, right?
Yeah, one thing that I gotta look into is I gotta see how many snaps he got. I have to look that up and see how much.
I just don't think it matters right now, and that's my point. Like Ted Ginn wasn't a 50 snap per game guy. Ted Ginn was maybe get the big play, right?
Takes the one play. I get what you're saying.
And in this format, right, where there's only so many different ways you can build on FanDuel, it's 396,000 entries.
Right.
How are you going to be different, right? You need that $5,000 player in your lineup to hit, right? So you've got to take a swing. You can't just be like everybody else and build the same lineup everybody else builds if you're trying to take it down. If you're trying to cash, that's a different story. But if you're trying to take it down, who are you going to be different with? So you start with who are you going to be different with in your MVP spot, right? Can you be different in the MVP spot? And is there a $5,000 player you can load in there to be different with how you build that by getting maybe 2 $15,000 players in your lineup, right? So, can you get Mike Evans to go off in garbage time? Can you get Chris Godwin to get 10 targets in garbage time? Because I really think that in the fourth quarter of this game, that's where you're going to get points from Tampa Bay. I think the fourth quarter. I just don't see how this game, it's got to stay close. Tampa Bay's defense has got to show up for Tampa Bay to win this game. There's not any scenario that I can see this game turning into a shootout situation. And in that type of game, we know Christian McCaffrey is going to dominate the touches.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like I said, if Olsen's going to be on the field, he's going to get a ton of targets. So it's like, man, I get what you're saying though. With the cheap guy, just try to get him to sneak one in for you. Yeah, that's really where I'm at. You got anything else to say, or you good to go?
No, that's it, man.
All right. Hey, well, one thing that I forgot to mention in the beginning, we did extend our NFL Luxury Box special to this Sunday. Use promo code NFL2019 to get that. You get the rest of MLB. You get all the NFL, plus you're going to get NBA for one price tag. It's a very good deal, so make sure to take advantage of that. And, yeah, man, we got a lot of good things going on, man. Check it out, dfscheatsheet.com. And, hey, talk to you guys later. Peace out.